The new Spider-Man film, Spider-Man Homecoming, is finally in the theaters. This is the 17th Spider-Man film. The 14th, the 12th? We've had so many Spider-Man films in the last few years that it's impossible to keep count anymore. Sony produced the first Spider-Man trilogy with director Sam Raimi and made tons of money till 2007. Sony rebooted the franchise with Amazing Spider-Man in 2011 and produced a sequel called Amazing Spider-Man 2 in 2014.
It's Spider-Man.
No, not this disaster. I'm talking about the other disaster starring Andrew Garfield and Emma Stone. That film was utterly shit. Without any creative input from Marvel, Sony decided to launch the film on its own, and it was really bad. So now Sony saw some sense in calling up Marvel and saying, hey, we can't do much with the character, can you help us? And Marvel basically telling Spidey, come back to daddy. And the improvement immediately shows. Marvel has got so many things right in Spider-Man Homecoming. When I saw the trailer of this movie, I wasn't very excited. It looked like another generic, boring superhero film with Iron Man thrown in to save the film. But boy, was I proved wrong. This movie has humor, action, a good plot, and a Spider-Man that you would love to watch. Tom Holland is amazing. I loved director John Watts' take on the character. He's making his first big budget superhero film. So his take on Spider-Man as a high school kid dealing with usual adolescent problems at the same time doing an internship with Tony Stark was fabulous to watch. The movie begins with Michael Keaton's character, who is basically trying to do a project which I don't want to reveal. His character gets shortchanged by the government and he wants to take revenge on the system. That's how his character, the Vulture, is born. And Spider-Man is still coming to terms with the events that happened in Civil War. He's still trying to chase Tony Stark with hilarious results as he's trying to get into the Avengers team. The first 30 minutes of the film are very entertaining because there are tons of jokes, tons of humor thrown at you. Tony Stark, the multi-billionaire, gives Peter Parker his first Spidey suit, which is also techno-enhanced just like his Iron Man suit with his own Jarvis. This is very interesting to watch because in the previous films, we had Spidey relying only on his senses. Whereas here, his suit is enabling him to be the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Spidey is literally breezing through the city streets, solving petty crimes until one day, he gets entangled in an evil web laid out by the Vulture. There are also some interesting subplots in the film, like Spidey dealing with his new powers and trying to hide it from his Aunt May, and at the same time trying to impress a girl in his school. These situations are very funny and humorous. One of the main highlights of the film are the scenes between Iron Man and Spider-Man. Their conversations are hilarious and will keep you in splits. Tom Holland is 21 years old, but his performance as the 15-year-old Peter Parker really won me over. He is charming, boyish, and also clumsy. And when he is Spider-Man, he is so heroic to watch that you don't want to take your eyes off screen. Michael Keaton absolutely sinks his teeth into the role, and when he threatens Spider-Man, he is badass. The movie sometimes lacks the seriousness that's made Spider-Man 1 really special. When Uncle Ben dies in Spider-Man 1, you really feel for Peter Parker. In this film, all those things are kept aside. You are only focusing on Tom Holland and his growth and his arc as Spider-Man in the film. Although it doesn't reach the heights of the first two great Spider-Man films, it's still a worthy watch and a very good addition to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. For this homecoming of Spider-Man, I'm going with 3.5 out of 5. This was my take on Spider-Man Homecoming. If you like this video, please click like, and I would love to know what you have to say about the film. Please reply in the comment section, and do not forget to subscribe to Movie Guru.